Hey, what's going on? I'm Keith. This is another episode of the Knicks Report, joined as usual by JD. JD, man, how's everything with you?
Everything's good, man. I'm excited to get back on the court tonight.
Is there something you're not telling us? You said you're excited to get back on the court. Are you taking Pinson's spot? What's going on?
Correction. The Knicks should be excited to get back on the court tonight. It's been a long layoff with a few days of no games. I think Knicks fans are excited for Knicks basketball. And so, I'm thinking I'm playing, but can't wait to watch the team tonight.
I hear you on that one. So, in this video, we're going to be going through the keys to the game, our concerns, something that the Knicks should watch out for or keep mind to. We're also going to show you some players or some matchups to watch, and we will end the show with our predictions. So, JD, just let me know how you're feeling about the game initially.
Well, I think this game is a game the Knicks have to get. It's the first game of a 4-game homestand. Would have been 5 had they, had the Spurs game not, been postponed. But I think, based on some of the matchups that they'll be facing after, where they play the Kings, the Golden State Warriors, and the Pacers, I think this is a game that they understand, and I hope they understand that they cannot afford to lose, especially coming off the Magic loss, which was a disappointing loss.
So, you're
And
saying they
so,
can't afford to lose it. So, what would your keys be then?
well, one key that I have to the game is strictly fouling. And the reason I say fouling is more so closely at the center position, being that who we're going to be facing, their best players, Karl Anthony Towns, and he's a center. As you know, we also have the Mitchell Robinson injury. And so we're a little thin at that position. And so you don't want to get into a position where Nolan's in foul trouble. Now you have to maybe overextend Taj Gibson. And then who after that? You may have to go small or make some other adjustments. And so I just don't want to be in that position. And as when you put a great player on the free throw line and you get them going that way, it could lead towards disappointing game, and it could lead towards disaster, especially when he's a very good player and he's playing at a position that we are a little bit thin at right now. So a key to the game is fouling, hoping that we play defense with our feet, and that we don't get in foul trouble at that position. What what would you say is a key to the game for you?
Well, I would say that the key to the game would be the second unit. We saw against the Magic that the second unit really didn't provide much for us. IQ, D Rose both did not have great games, so I'm expecting the both of them to rebound. We've already seen in the previous 3 games that D Rose was here that they've worked well together. So I'm expecting this to not be a repeat performance against the Magic. And not only that, I think IQ should be able to get his shot off, because if you look at the Magic, not the Magic, if you look at the actual Timberwolves' stats, they allowing opponents to shoot the 3 ball at a 38% clip. So if IQ can get hot and get that second unit to find that form that they had when they initially made that D Rose trade, I think we should be in for a good game. I'm excited about the game to see exactly what this second unit can do. So that would be my key to the game. Now, JD, I would counter to you. What would your concerns be? I know you saying that this is going to be an important game for the Knicks. So if I am a Knicks fan, what should I be concerned about when I'm looking at this game and trying to see if this is going to tilt in our favor?
Well, if you look at the matchup and you look at the record of the Timberwolves, worst record in the league, right? One of the worst scoring offenses in the league, may not be no concerns. And I would understand that. I would also be probably more concerned if they had D'Angelo Russell playing with Karl Anthony Towns, which, there's a fun fact about that. I'm not sure if you know. Do you know that since D'Angelo Russell has been traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves, that pairing has only played 5 games together.
I
Only
didn't know
five
that. You
games.
put me on.
You know how many games the Timberwolves have played since? And their prime acquisition, which mind you, if they have the worst record in the league right now. If the Timberwolves fall outside of the top three, the Warriors will be awarded that selection. So you can see where this trade could lead to for them in their future, and why they would want to get they want that to work out before they even think about trading Karl Anthony Towns. So I would be more concerned if they were actually playing. They also have been 2-3 in those 5 games together. So, for that organization, they don't have even enough of a sample size to know how that acquisition will end up working out for them. But in terms of the game, a concern with me, listen, this is a favorable matchup, right? But it's the NBA. And so, although they have the worst record in the league, and although we think this is a easy 30-point win or 20-point win, this is the NBA. And one thing that I paid attention to in their last game is in the third quarter of that game against the Raptors, the Timberwolves were down 16 points. And at the 8-minute and 23-second mark, from then they went on a 23-1 run to take the lead. And the Raptors didn't score again until the 2-minute and 7-second mark on a free throw. And so they should have won that game. And bad teams lose leads, and that's what happened. But I'm highlighting that specific run to illustrate that in the NBA anything can happen. And when you let teams hang around, and when teams make runs, is a game of runs. And so I hope that Tom Thibodeau mentioned that note to them as a way to motivate them and not have them overlook the team. So my concern is the Knicks overlooking this opponent, understanding that after this game, they play at the Garden against the Warriors in a game where they're going to have fans for the first time. And so I just hope that they don't overlook the team, and that they come out and they're ready to play.
Yeah, I hear you. That should be a concern because the Knicks have no business to be overlooking any opponent. They haven't. I don't think any team has the right to overlook any opponent because honestly, that's how you have those trap games. So the Knicks definitely do not have to or should not allow the Timberwolves being the worst team in the league to let them get a little bit too confident, especially coming off that loss against the Magic. My concern probably is the same as my player to watch or my matchup to watch, which would be Taj Gibson, Nerlens Noel, and them going against Cat, because we know Cat is going to be a focal point of that team's offense. And without Mitch, who is our starter, he's out due to that hand injury. We're going to have to throw Noel out there, who has been serviceable. But Cat is a different breed when it comes to being a center because he can kill you from so many places on the court. So is Nerlens Noel and is Taj Gibson going to be prepared to have that defensive intensity for the entirety of the court? For the entirety of the game, because Cat is just a center that can both operate down in the paint. He can step out, knock down threes. So Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson, they're going to have to be mobile, and they're also going to have to make sure that they don't allow Cat to be dominant on the boards and in the paint scoring. So those would be my concerns. Those would also be my matchup and players to watch. Who are you going to be keeping an eye out for, JD?
To be honest, I 100% agree with you. There's no other matchup I'm looking at. I mean, you want to say Malik Beasley? The Knicks were interested in him. He's a sniper. He's a good shooter. He can get hot. We can say that. But to me, when you're looking at this game, Cat is the matchup. It just makes it's just the obvious matchup that is right in our face. We don't have Mitchell Robinson. Cat's their best player, and so it's there's not much more to say. So I 100% agree with you.
All right, bro. So let me know what your prediction is. It sounds like I know where you're leaning, but let the viewer know as well.
Well, I'm definitely leaning to a Knicks win, and I think with the layoff, I'm gonna go with conventional wisdom. The layoff, practice time, they're gonna come out firing, and they're gonna put this game away rather quickly. No pun intended. And when you're looking at, Karl Anthony Towns, the Wolves have the worst record in the league. Even with Karl Anthony Towns this year, they're 3-7 with Karl Anthony Towns. So they still have a losing record with him. And so, there's not much more, not much more to say about this game. I have the Knicks in a blowout fashion, and I have Julius Randle as the player of the game, as he will look to stamp his bid for an All-Star game. This will be the last game for him to cement his status and his candidacy as an hopefully an All-Star to be announced on Tuesday, February 23rd.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
Well, my prediction is I'm going to agree with you that the Knicks are going to win this game, and I have them winning big. They're going to win 110 to 95, 97. I expect our team to hold them down defensively. We are still one of the best defensive teams in the league. I think Tom Thibodeau and them have a point to prove, especially with that effort that we went out there and put forth against the Magic. So the Timberwolves better be careful, or they better watch out, because the Knicks are coming with a head full of steam, and we're going to do what we got to do to catch this W. You feel me?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we'll wrap it up there. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you're a fan of this video series, I would just ask you to consider, hitting that subscribe button, the bell icon. That way you're notified whenever me and JD go and drop a new video like this. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. JD, thank you for working with me for this video as well. Once again, I'm Quis. This is Sports Vibes TV, the Knicks Report, and we're out.
Damn,
I gotta work on my outros. My outros is fucking terrible, bro.